Say Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord. Say it.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinion. And today, guys, I am going to be ranking the Indiana Jones movies from worst to best. Guys, Indiana Jones is awesome. I love him. He was my childhood hero. And this movie series is excellent. Honestly, Indiana Jones is one of the greatest action-adventure series of all time. And the character of Indiana Jones is just one of the most iconic characters ever, and he's absolutely responsible for turning Harrison Ford into an international superstar. A lot of people say that he got his start up in Star Wars, but I think Indiana Jones made Harrison Ford. So like always, guys, I'm going to be ranking these movies from worst to best, and I hope you enjoy the list. But before we get into the list itself, guys, we're going to be playing a little game today. At the end of this video, I am going to be playing a quick 5-second clip from a random movie. If you're the first person to successfully guess what that movie is, where that clip is from, and you comment it below, I will pin that comment to the top of the comments, and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. So all you have to do is stick around to the end of the video, watch that 5-second clip, comment the title below, and you win. But I want to make one thing very, very clear. Guys, I'm going to be very strict and rigid on this. You have to say the full title of the movie. So random, non-specific example, if it's Pirates of the Caribbean, you can't just say Pirates of the Caribbean. You got to say Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides or something like that. So if you do that, you win. Now let's just get into the ranking of these movies. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to make a disclaimer. I'm not counting the Dial of Destiny, or the Disaster of Destiny. Disney has butchered Lucasfilms. None of that Disney stuff is being on the... I'm only ranking the ones that Spielberg and Lucas made, so the 4 Indiana Jones movies. Everything else doesn't count. Coming in at number 4, we have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Don't call me Junior.
I have a feeling this is gonna get me killed because a lot of people think Last Crusade is the best one.
He chose poorly.
And not for naught, I've made some pretty crazy, according to you guys, list rankings of Star Wars, so I guess this is going to be no different. But yeah, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade happens to be at the bottom, and that's not a bad thing, because you gotta think of this list and series like a totem pole. Something has to be at the bottom. I love this movie so much. I love this movie. But it just goes to show you there are better movies in the franchise. So in this film, Indiana Jones is trying to find the Holy Grail. So it's called The Last Crusade, and that's something that just by default fascinates me because I'm super into the Crusades and the Grail and the mythology around it. It is super cool. It's an interesting quest, but it also brings the character of Indiana Jones into an adventure with his estranged father.
Those people are trying to kill him. I know, Dad.
And the idea to cast Sean Connery as Indy's father is probably the greatest casting decision in the history of cinema.
It's a new experience for me. Happens to me all the time.
Sean Connery and Harrison Ford have some of the best chemistry between father and son, or two actors, pretty much ever.
What did you find, Dad? Me. Illumination.
And not only that, this movie heavily focuses on the action. Which is awesome because Indiana Jones is typically a mixture of academic, puzzle-solving, quest, adventure stuff, and then action. But this movie, it really focuses a lot on the action. And that kind of makes sense because this movie was supposed to be the finale, and it's a great lead up to what would have made a great finale for the series. That is why Last Crusade is number 4.
After you, Junior.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, we have Raiders of the Lost Ark. So guys, this is the first movie in the series, and it brilliantly introduced us to the character of Indiana Jones.
You want to talk to God? Let's go see him together. I've got nothing better to do.
And the quest for the Ark of the Covenant is probably the best example of an Indiana Jones quest from all of these movies. And basically, Indiana Jones has to face off against the Nazis. He has to recover the Ark of the Covenant and bring it back to the US before the Nazis can get it and bring it back to Germany. So we see our swashbuckling, rogue, charming archaeologist hero as he goes to places all over the globe, starting in the jungles of South America, where you see him trying to recover a Mesoamerican idol artifact from a ruined temple, and then you see him duking it out with Sherpas in Nepal.
Let her go.
And And then he goes to the exotic foreign place of Africa and Egypt. And all of that was so cool. The action was amazing. The special effects were unbelievable in this movie. The music by John Williams, aka the Emperor of Movie Music, was sublime. And Indiana Jones is one of the greatest characters in cinema history, and he was expertly set up in this film. And Raiders of the Lost Ark just expertly set up the excellence that is the Indiana Jones series. It's one of the most exciting movies ever made, and it'll probably stand the test of time as one of the greatest movies ever made. Coming in at number 2, we have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So guys, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is probably the most underrated and underappreciated entry into the Indiana Jones series. When discussing the movie, a lot of people have mixed feelings about this movie because it's caught in between Raiders and Last Crusade. Your average Indiana Jones fan will say, I love the first movie, the third movie was great, the second movie's kind of just there. I don't agree with that. I love this movie. I love Temple of Doom. I happen to think this is magnificent, and it's a proper sequel, but not really because it's actually a prequel. So that kind of makes everything more interesting. And not for naught, a while back, I actually made a video defending Temple of Doom, explaining why I think this is a great movie. I highly suggest you check that out. If you want my full, in-depth opinion on this movie, that will be linked in the description below. But why do I like this movie? Because it is, without a doubt, the most unique film in the Indiana Jones franchise. It features the most evil villain, and it doesn't follow the typical formula that the other movies do. So usually the Indiana Jones movies is Indiana Jones is going after a religious or supernatural artifact, and he's facing off against a rival government to the US, and he has to recover this artifact before the bad guys do. But in this movie, Indiana Jones in the beginning escapes assassination from a Chinese crime boss, and then he accidentally ends up in British-controlled India. And then he's asked by a really impoverished village to recover some sacred magical stones.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
And basically what he has to do is he has to go up against evil, child-slaving, human-sacrificing, devil-worshipping monsters. And the rest of this movie is Indiana Jones has to escape this temple full of human-sacrificing, child-slaving, evil, devil-worshippers with his life. Which leads to awesome action and extremely dark scenery. And I don't just mean that literally, but I also mean that like from a storytelling narrative point of view, this is the darkest Indiana Jones movie. I mean, sincerely, the villain in this movie is the most evil, dark man in the Indiana Jones franchise.
Drop them, Dr. Jones! They will be found! You won!
And I just really love the dynamics of this film. And not for naught, I happen to think Willie Scott, Indiana Jones' love interest in this movie, is my favorite Indiana Jones love interest. I mean, because she's stunning, she's beautiful. She is by far the most attractive woman that Indiana Jones got with. Therefore, Willie Scott is awesome. And that is why Temple of Doom is firmly number 2. And number 1, guys, we have Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
We gotta get Oxley back, get our hands on that skull, and get to Akator before they do. Grab the wheel.
So by now, you guys probably hate me. This is probably going to get me killed. And you probably think I have no credibility. You're like, this guy's out of his mind. He's saying Crystal Skull's the best one. Yes, I said it. I have the balls to say it. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
I think I'd cover my ears if I were you.
Now, I have actually made 2 videos defending Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Both of them will be linked in the description below. Overall, I think this movie is extremely underappreciated, and people were way too harsh on it. So in reference to the 2 videos I made defending Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I'm just gonna explain why I like it, and if you wanna check those out, you are more than welcome to. Link below, like always. But the reason why I think this is my favorite Indiana Jones movie is I love the uniqueness of this film. The alien aspect actually didn't bother me at all.
Unbelievable.
And that actually added new layers to the series that was pretty interesting. It was cool and, dare I say, fascinating. Because the other movies always feature things of religious or supernatural significance, and in this movie, they introduce us to the paranormal. So it breaks that format of going after biblical relics, and everyone has always had this conversation of, did aliens help primitive people build amazing civilizations or advanced civilizations? Everyone always says, ooh, look at that, that's Stonehenge. Ooh, look at that, it's Machu Picchu. How did they do that? Maybe it was aliens. And Indiana Jones dipping its toes into that discussion, it's very appropriate.
How old is this? 4,000 or 5,000 years. Old as the pyramids.
Also, the movie takes place almost exclusively in the Americas and Latin America. Now, I can connect to that in a number of ways in the sense that I go to Latin America. I've spent so much time all the time. I go to Latin America all the time, spent so much time there. I've never been to Europe, Asia, or Africa, or the Middle East or anything like that. So when Indiana Jones and the other movies are doing his thing, don't really have fond memories attached to things like that. But when I see Indiana Jones climbing Mesoamerican ruins and structures, I'm like, whoa, I did that. Cool, fun memories that I have attached, and I could relive that watching this movie. I can relate to it on that sense. And I also happen to think that Mesoamerican mythology and civilizations are super cool and underappreciated, and I love that this movie features that.
Sun worshippers.
I love the closure it brings to the character. The action in this movie was stellar. And it has my absolute favorite fight in all of these movies, which was the ant fight. Not only that, I love the brawl in the graveyard. The escape from Area 51. I just thought all of it was really, really fun to watch. And I just think this movie got way too much hate, much more than it deserved, and people were way too harsh on this film. Now, I'm not asking you to love this movie, and I'm not even going to try to convince you to see it my way, but all I ask is that you just one more time, just watch it with an open mind, because a lot of people, when I hear they talk about this, they saw it once and they refuse to watch it again. But just watch it one more time. Because I really think with the passage of time, people can come to appreciate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Especially considering that Disney's taken the reins from George Lucas and just ran the franchise into the ground. Watch this movie, and I do think time will vindicate the fact that this is not that bad of a film. Well, guys, that's all I have for you. That's my ranking of the Indiana Jones movies. What did you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Well, comment below to let me know. Also, guys, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check me out on Instagram. That will be linked in the description below. Remember, guys, one like goes a long way, and it really helps me out, and it's totally free. So right now, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. All of that would be greatly appreciated, but that's all I have for you guys, and I'll see you on the next Unpopular Opinion.
Only the worthy find the Grail, Lee.
You taught me that.